This is the Golden State. Long enchanting artists, poets, and those with Hollywood ambitions. There's a reason why so many people are enchanted by California. With some of the most diversity of any state in the U.S., from the beaches of Southern California to the redwood forest of the north, prepare for one of the most incredible adventures of your life. As a native Californian born and raised, I've explored my home state from top to bottom.
Anytime I'm here, I just feel good because this is where I was born and raised.
But if I only had 2 weeks, this is what I would do. Let's assume you're beginning in Los Angeles. Honestly, I would skip the Hollywood Walk of Fame and go enjoy the hike to the Hollywood sign instead. Stay in Santa Monica or Venice Beach and check out some of the best sunsets and local culture. From the Venice Boardwalk and Muscle Beach and Skate Park to the cafes and boutiques of Abbot Kinney, this is easily my favorite LA neighborhood for the funkiness factor. If you're looking for something with more of an artsy city vibe, check out Silver Lake, full of hipster vibes, street art, artisanal coffee shops, and vegan cafes. From there, drive down the Pacific Coast Highway to the beaches of Orange County. As someone who used to live in Newport Beach, I can vouch that it's one of the most beautiful that the state has to offer. There's a reason why our sunsets are so famous. If you're there during the summer months, enjoy a swim, a possible surf, and the sunshine. Keep in mind, California water is surprisingly cold for a lot of folks, so our beaches are best enjoyed in the hot summer months. Prepare for strong undertow and sometimes big waves. Also, don't forget Disneyland is only 15 minutes away in Anaheim. Is Disneyland still worth it if you're not a kid? Absolutely. As someone who has spent her life going to Disneyland many, many times over, I can tell you it never gets old. While in Orange County, I highly recommend checking out Balboa Island in Newport or going for a hike in Crystal Cove State Park. If you're looking for more of an artsy vibe, check out Laguna Beach, easily one of the most beautiful beach areas in Orange County. Keep in mind, this entire area is super high-end, so if you're staying in, eating in, or shopping in this area, be prepared to open your wallet up a little bit more. If you want something with a little bit more variation and casual options, from there we'll head south to San Diego, stopping in Temecula on the way. This little pocket of wine country has some amazing restaurants, of course wine tasting, and my favorite part is watching the hot air balloons in the early morning.
It's pretty cool, Mom, right?
Yeah, it sure is. Unexpectedly so.
I booked a room at the Carter Estate Winery for the best view. Be sure to ask them to put you in a room on the balloon rise side. Now let's head to San Diego. It is so worth a visit. Continue south to some of the best weather and honestly best looking people in the country. Give surfing or diving a try and eat some of the best Mexican food this side of the border. Some favorite spots are Coronado Island, checking out a baseball game at the Padres Stadium, enjoying the beach and party scene of Pacific Beach, or the more laid-back hippie vibe of Ocean Beach. From there, head inland and a bit north to some of the most unique landscape you'll find in the U.S.
What is this?
This girl is a bona fide desert lover, from Joshua Tree to Mojave to Anza Borrego to Death Valley. She's a beauty! These are some of the most unique rock formations and best stargazing on Earth. Imagine visiting the lowest part of the U.S., the Badwater Basin in Death Valley, and then driving over to the Alabama hills to look at the tallest peak in the lower 48, all within a few hours of each other. It's pretty incredible and gives you a true sense of the diversity of California. In every direction, it's amazing. There are also plenty of unique places to stay in 29 Palms just outside of Joshua Tree. This area has some of the most unique Airbnbs you'll find in California, from places with rock pools to dream escapes that will take you back to the 70s.
It's like a retro dream.
This has become a haven for unique getaways. This is also one of few places in the world where you can actually see Joshua trees. It's not a tree, but it is a pretty cool plant that you will not see in very many other places around the world. It only grows in super specific latitudes and elevations, mostly within the American Southwest. And if you're looking for the hands-down best sunrise in the state of California, look no further than Fons Point in Anza Borrego. Honestly, the best sunrise in California. You'll need a four-wheel drive vehicle to access this spot, but if you can swing it, prepare to see the Badlands light up golden with views all the way to the Salton Sea. I also love the sculptures in this area and the fact that it's a dark sky town, which means that you can stargaze without having to head too far out. Remember, if you want to do the best possible stargazing, be sure to do this part of your trip during a new moon so that you can have the best possible chance of seeing as many stars as possible. Although I love this part of the state, I don't recommend this for summertime visits, as Death Valley regularly records the hottest temperatures on Earth. But if you're visiting in the fall, winter, or early spring months, absolutely check out the desert. Too many people leave it off of their itineraries, and it's a shame. And of course, there's a lot to see in the middle of the state, especially along the coast, but if you've only got 2 weeks, let's head north for some incredible national parks, the tallest and biggest trees in the world, and of course, San Francisco. Assuming you're beginning the northern part of your journey in SF, taking in all of the different cultures and their cuisines, I recommend checking out Chinatown, eat some amazing Vietnamese food in the Tenderloin, check out the hippie vibe of the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood, or take in the musical history of the Fillmore District. If you're looking for a good place to view the Golden Gate Bridge, check out Baker Beach. If you didn't love Los Angeles, take heart. Many people vastly prefer the much easier, more accessible, even European vibe of San Francisco. There's better public transportation, the architecture is incredibly unique, and the history is wonderful as well. Next, I'd grab a rental car and head to Yosemite, one of the most popular national parks in the US, but for good reason. The glacier-carved granite valley boasts the tallest waterfall in the US, as well as many hiking trails that you can enjoy year-round. Whether you're looking for summertime hikes or winter snow, Yosemite can offer both. I personally love hiking from Glacier Point to Nevada Falls, an alternative route from the more popular hike from the valley floor past Vernal Falls. It's not shorter, but it's a bit less elevation gain and vertical ascent. Although if vertical is what you're looking for, try to score a permit to hike Half Dome for one of the best views of Yosemite. This is not for the faint of heart, so if you're looking for something a bit more accessible, Bridal Veil and Yosemite Falls both have easy hiking trails that can take you right to some of the best viewing spots. You've also got a couple of other national parks in the area, including Sequoia and Kings Canyon. This is where you will find the biggest trees in the world, the sequoias, not to be confused with the tallest, which is the coastal redwood. And since you can't enjoy the sequoias without seeing the tallest tree in the world too, I would absolutely work some time into your itinerary to check out the coastal redwoods. You can find some big ones in Santa Cruz or heading a bit north to my personal favorite part of the Northern California coast, Mendocino. Here you'll find some of the best romantic and cozy B&Bs, as well as incredible coastal views, whale watching from the bluffs, the glass sand beach in Fort Bragg, the opportunity to watch seals having their pups in the winter, and if you get lucky with the weather, some of the best and most beautiful sunsets the West Coast has to offer up north. Of course, if you'd really like to see some of the most impressive redwoods, heading north to Redwood National Park is your best bet.
Oh my goodness! How freaking tall is this?
This is a full 6-hour drive from San Francisco, so you'll have to make some difficult choices when planning your itinerary, but I love the Lost Coast area of California for its misty beaches, rocky coastline, and you'll start to notice that you've left the crowds behind. I love that this area has so much that I've been back at least 6 or 7 times. And if you're a shellfish aficionado like me, be sure to try the famous Kumamoto oysters from the Humboldt Bay.
Oh yeah!
That said, there's much to see if you choose to head south from San Francisco instead. Perhaps you've heard of Monterey and Big Sur. On your way, you'll get to enjoy some of the best parts of the most famous drive in California, the Pacific Coast Highway or Highway 1. Be sure to leave plenty of time for all of the roadside pull-offs and views along the way. There's so much to love about Big Sur as well. From the famous waterfall at the Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park that looks like it can't be real, but it is, to the purple sand Pfeiffer Beach with rock arches and keyholes out at sea.
It costs 12 big ones to come here. They do not take national parks or a state park or any kind of pass.
Keep in mind that there's very little accommodation in this part of the state, so be sure to book your stay far ahead of time as you can. Camping is very popular here as the weather is fine almost all year round, but campgrounds book out quite far ahead of time too. Finally, I've got to share what's in my own backyard. What must be the most beautiful lake in the world, Lake Tahoe. No matter what time of year you come to visit, there is something to enjoy here, from skiing in the winter to hiking in the summer, and of course, enjoying the beautiful beaches and the Caribbean blues of the water. Popularity has exploded in this area in recent years, so keep in mind that things book out pretty far in advance here too. I hope you love and enjoy the Golden State. Be sure to treat it as you would want your home treated. Pack out everything that you pack in, enjoy the nature, and leave something for the next generation to love and enjoy as well.